Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be working on yet another PlayStation 5, and it's yet another dead one. Of course it is, it's PlayStation 5, they all die eventually. Anyway, so this console's been sent in by a local customer. He got in touch through Facebook and he said his PlayStation 5, he was using it and it suddenly just died. So basically it's been sent in for a no power repair. So we're going to take a look, we're going to see what we can do, hopefully figure it out. But there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing this video. Number one is because I'm releasing a video every single day in December. Number two is because I want to tell you about a groundbreaking release which has just hit the fan. So I use that on my Discord channel. For those of you that don't know, we've got a Discord channel. There'll be a link in the video description to that. Please go and join it. But basically, one of the users has very kindly provided board view files for the PlayStation 5 along with other consoles as well. So that is absolutely fantastic news. It literally just happened a couple of minutes ago. I was going to do a video on this anyway because I'm a money grabbing YouTuber and I have to get that ad revenue. But that being said, I wanted to just give a quick announcement that there are some PS5 board view files on Discord. Please go ahead and join Discord, get involved with the community and stuff like that. It's a great community and we're all there to help each other. So with that being said, my name's Hakko. I'm an electronics technician. I mainly work on games consoles, but I do work on other stuff as well. So if that's the sort of stuff you're into, be sure to get subscribed and turn on the bell notifications, that way you don't miss any future videos. Videos like the one I released a couple of hours ago where I gave myself a nice zap with this power supply. Yeah. If you don't want to miss stuff like that, be sure to get subscribed and turn on the bell notifications. And if you are subscribed, just check and see if you've got the bell notifications on, because YouTube's been glitching out and not sending people notifications. So if you are subscribed, just press unsubscribe and resubscribe again, and that way it'll reset your notification settings and you'll get alerted every time I release a video. If you need parts and supplies for these, you can buy them from my online store, consolefix.shop, and if you need to organise a repair, you can get in touch with me at www.thecoder.repair as well. With that being said, let's get into another video, and hopefully we don't zap ourselves on another power supply. Roll the tape. This video probably still would have been here without today's sponsor, but hey, it's time to show something, right? So here goes. Here at the Coder Productions, we love nothing more than to take as much money from you, the viewer, as we possibly can. Which is why we're proud to talk to you about consolefix.shop. A great place for you to spend your hard-earned cash. I mean, yeah, fair enough. You get parts and supplies that help you fix things, but you've got to give me some money in return. Nothing in life's free, and if you pay me for it, you might appreciate it more. Or not, hey, I'm not judging. With that being said, we do have some pretty cool stuff on the shelves, including power supplies, HDMI ports, charging chips, MOSFETs, and whatever else you can think of that'll give you the illusion that you're getting a good deal. So head on over to the online store by clicking on the link in the video description, and if there's one thing I can guarantee, is that there will be a way for me to take your money. ConsoleFix, your friendly money grabbing YouTuber. So I've already checked this actually, I've got it plugged in as you can see, and it's not powering on at all. It's not been very well looked after, to be honest. The console is covered in paint, so it's something to keep note of. But it's not powering on at all, obviously, and yeah, we're here to try and fix that. This is going to be a 1200 series board. Okay, so I don't even need to look at the model number, but it's going to be a CFI 1216A. Yep, and the serial number starts with G32, so it's definitely a 1216A. Also, it's got the square sticker instead of the rectangle ones. So yeah, hopefully we can fix this. But yeah, be sure to obviously check out Discord. We've got an absolutely fantastic community, and yeah, we would really appreciate it if you join. It's completely free. We don't ask for any money, regardless of how much of a money grabbing YouTuber I am. It's completely free to join Discord. So if you need any help, or if you've got anything to share, you know, if you just want to show off your work, stuff like that, like just get involved. Get involved and help build a nice community. But anyway, I'm going to skip through this because this bit is pretty damn boring. I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to get the top housing off, get it down to the bare board, and then we will take a look and see what's going on with it. Hopefully fix it because, well, we've got to get paid, right? But yeah, I'll fast forward through. I'll pick it up once I'm inside the console. Oh, I can't be bothered with this. Hello? Ah, that's much better. Right, well, that saved us a lot of time, didn't it? Anyway, let's take a look at this, shall we? So, the first thing that I want to do with this is check the power supply, because it could just be as simple as a faulty power supply. And I did actually release a video earlier which turned out to be just that, but if I hit record it gets released, so no matter what the issue is with this, it will still make a video, regardless of how shocking it ends up. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do then is just check and see if we've got a 12 volt output from the power supply. So to do that, I'll set my multimeter into DC mode, so I can check the output. So I'll pop one probe on ground and the other probe I'll pop just here. Damn it, I'll scratch the damn board. And no, we do not. We do not have 12 volts on this. So yet again, it's a faulty power supply. That's annoying, to say the least. But yeah, we'll see what goes on with it, shall we? So I'm not a power supply technician, but I am going to, of course, have a look and see if we can figure out what's wrong with the power supply, just for the hell of it, because we like to risk our own life. No, we don't like to risk our own life, but that being said, I need to at least make it a little bit interesting, right? Okay, liquid metal's actually pretty good on this. It's not been oxidized or anything. This is EDM 030 with the 69GG safe bridge. That's random on what safe bridge it has. I don't know why. But yeah. Anyway, we don't get any power from the power supply, which means we need to figure out why. We could just change the power supply itself, and I'll say that as I get my antenna mixed up with the customer's antenna. Yeah, we could just change the power supply itself, but where would the fun be in that, right? So it could be something simple, you know, could be drop damage, you know, you could have a broken contact somewhere. So we'll try and find out what's going on with it, of course. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is just clean up some of this dust inside the power supply. It could be that what's caused it to die, it could have overheated. So I've just cleaned all that up. I'll clean the heatsink and stuff out later on. Not really worried about that right now, but I am going to just take this power supply apart so I can try and figure out what's actually gone wrong with it. I'm going to say now, working with power supplies is very dangerous. I electrocuted, well, I didn't electrocute myself. I shocked myself literally this afternoon by working on a power supply. If you have an underlying heart condition, even one that you're not aware of, it could potentially kill you, okay? And I am not going to be responsible if you do shock yourself by following one of my videos. But if you do work on a power supply and you do shock yourself, at least hit record so I can point and laugh when you do it. Just a little disclaimer there to stop you from suing me. It's got to be done. At least record it so I can point and laugh. Pretty please. There you go, I said please. People point and laugh at me so I can point and laugh at you. Alright, anyway, to get inside this there are some areas which are visibly used for prying up. I do not recommend using a metal pry tool. Do as I say, not as I do, people. It's very tricky to get into these, they are pretty damn compact. So you are going to damage the case on these, getting them apart, by the way. Regardless of what tool you use, it's plastic, and prying into plastic, you're going to damage it. There we are. Pop goes the weasel. Alright. Here we go. So I'll pop that to one side for a minute. First thing I'm going to do is check the input fuse. So let's flip it over. The input fuse is just here. So this white ceramic component here, that's the input fuse. That's where 240 volt comes in, and obviously it goes through this fuse and then out to the power supply. So we're going to check that. The two test points for that are going to be on the back here. So we're going to check that in continuity mode, just see if we've got a continuous path. We have, okay, so the fuse is absolutely fine. Let's check and see if there's any power on these caps here, because these caps here are high voltage caps and it's not fun when you zap yourself. So let's go into DC mode here, and I'll just check these caps. So negative there, positive there. And yeah, 299 volts. 299 volts. There you go. So I've got myself a resistor here, which I can use to discharge this power supply. This resistor is, I can't even remember what value it is. I'm sure it's 10k. No, it's 100k. So this is a 100k resistor, and I'm going to use this to discharge these capacitors. I'll show you how to do that. So unfortunately these don't discharge fast enough, and this will take hours to discharge those capacitors, so I'll do it myself. So under the microscope then, we've got the capacitors just here, and I'm going to take my resistor. I'm going to be very careful because I'm using tweezers here to hold this resistor. I don't recommend doing it. I'm just going to drop those on there. I'll drop that on there and touch the contacts. And it should discharge in around about 60 seconds at 100k. So basically all I'm doing is I'm allowing current to flow through the resistor to the negative side of the capacitor, and that's going to discharge it. Whoops. That's not good. Damn it, it's like playing Operation. Okay, so I'm just discharging that there, and it should be discharged in about 30 seconds or so. Let's check that again and just see what kind of voltage we've got in there at the minute. You can take my word for this, I'm sure. Okay, that discharged fairly quickly. It's at 12 volts. I've got 12 volts. It is increasing, so it will slowly recharge itself, but not to a dangerous voltage. But if I just do that again, it should get fully discharged. There we are. So now if I short this capacitor out amongst it, across itself, there we go. So obviously we're not getting any kind of spark or anything. So that is fully discharged and now theoretically should be safe to work on, right? So let's just have a look at these transistors here. Well, one's a transistor, one's a diode. So we've got D11 there, that's a diode. That LT1B51, that's a diode. You can see it's got a diode symbol just down there as well. And the other one's a transistor. Those appear okay, but I will test them in a minute. What about these other transistors? I've got a couple more just here. They appear okay on first glance. The thermistor seems okay, at least on initial inspection anyway. So I'm just doing a visual inspection to see if I can see anything obvious here. Not seeing any bulging to any caps. Not seeing any cracks on any of the high voltage caps. And those two transistors appear okay as well. The rest of it all appears to be fine on this side. What about on this side? Let's have a look. I'm just giving it a visual inspection first before I attempt to do anything else. The DAP appears fine on initial inspection at least. And everything else appears okay to start off with. Not seeing anything obvious. Alright, so next I'm going to test the optocouplers and just see if they're working. So I'm going to put my multimeter in diode mode. And I want to test the diode side of this. So I'm going to put my positive lead on the anode and the negative lead on the cathode of the LED, and pin number 1 is the anode, so that's going to be this one just here, and the cathode is going to be just there. And we get a diode reading of 1.01, that seems normal. Let's test this one. 0.96, that seems normal. This one's opposite, so 1.04, that's absolutely fine as well. So let's just reverse the leads. We get 1.81, 1.08, and that one shows us open. 1.08 seems a bit strange. I don't know if that's normal or not. Let me just get a brand new one and I'll check it. I'll check it against a brand new one. It can be difficult to test these in circuit, so it's probably best to take them out of circuit. Let me just grab a brand new one from consolefix.shop. These are the EL1013s. So we've got 1.02 that way, open line that way. Okay, so yeah, they are meant to be open line one way. I thought there was. I mean, one of them is high at like 1.8, but I think I'm going to remove these and test them out of circuit. At least the top two, not all three. I'm going to just remove the top two. Just test them out of circuit, because at least then I'm not going to get any skewed results, right? I've got to be careful here because these are very thin boards and they do have a tendency to popcorn and delaminate. So I'm just trying to get some heat into the board before I give it full heat. So obviously that just means moving the hot air wand around and just transferring heat slowly. And the problem with these boards as well is there's an adhesive underneath all of the components on this side of the board, right? So the problem with that is they do tend to glue down, and it makes it a lot more difficult to actually remove them. I'm actually going to add some leaded solder to these just to reduce the melting temperature of them. I am trying out a new flux, so you'll notice the colouring's different. This is the SD360 from Mechanic. I'm just trying it out. I bought one syringe with my last order on AliExpress, so just giving it a whirl, see how it performs and stuff. So you'll notice it's a bit different to my usual Kingbow flux. It seems alright so far. I'm just trying it in different scenarios, basically. Yeah, I don't think these are meant to give a reading one side, but unfortunately they are. Just increase my airflow 40%. I had it quite low because I was reboarding earlier. Damn. It just doesn't want to come off. There we go. I might knock a component or two, but finally. I hate that adhesive, it's so annoying. Alright, I've moved the power supply out of the way. Oh, they're hot. So I need to wait for these to cool down before I can go any further. Okay, so now I can test these out of circuit properly. So I'll just test from there to there. We get open line. And that one we get open line as well. Let me just flip the leads around. We get a 1.3 reading on that one. I didn't have the leads on there long enough, but yeah, okay. 1.01. It's going to be a bit higher because these are still warm, but that's fine. And then let's test on the other side of these now. So I'm going to go into resistance mode. Open line. And we're in the millions of ohms on that one. So those are actually testing absolutely fine. So I don't think there's anything wrong with those. Unfortunately, it is difficult to test them in circuit. What about this one, the resistance on it? We have 329,000 ohms. I mean, that's high, yes. I mean, we are in circuit, so... I mean, that's high, but I don't think... Well, it's meant to be high. It's a lot lower than the other two are, but... I think it's fine. I'm just going to solder these back on because I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They don't have to be soldered perfect. Just reducing the excess solder that's on these by just dabbing it with the iron. Pick up the excess solder on the iron. Just makes for a cleaner job. I do like to take pride in my soldering work. There we are. That'll do it. Right, so I think those are fine, to be honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. So, let's test some of these transistors, shall we? So, I'm in continuity mode. No shorts. No shorts. Okay, so those appear okay. This is a diode, so let's just check this diode. So I'm in diode mode. Open line one side. .34 the other. Okay, that's fine. Let's check the transistor next to it. Yeah. That appears okay. So there's two more here. We've got this one here. And then we've got this one here. I think this is a diode. No, it's not. There's the pins. I was just looking at it wrong. So you'll get a beep here. 0.45 there. 0.12 there. 0.13. It is increasing. 0.52. 0.52. 0.12. 0.45. Okay, I think they're fine. We seem to be getting normal readings on those. Okay, I think it might be maybe thermal cam time. Just see if anything's obvious. Alright, so be very, very careful if you're plugging this in, because now we're working with live voltage. So I'm going to keep my hands well clear. That's plugged in. What do we get on the thermal cam? Okay, we get a little bit of heat around here, but that's where the optocouplers are, and it's very unlikely that that is down to the power supply being powered on. We do get some heat on the DAP chip, but that is normal though. That's the thing. Like the DAP chip does get warm. Doesn't mean it's not faulty, but it also doesn't mean it is, right? So the DAP chip is receiving power. It's whether or not it's outputting power. I don't know the pinout for it, unfortunately. So I'm going to be very careful again, and I'm going to use my bleed resistor, which I don't recommend you doing with metal tweezers. I'm going to discharge this again. Damn it. God damn it. Right on the edge of the board. Just to get my bleed resistor out. I am not putting my tweezers that far into it. I ain't that silly. I really should get some insulated tweezers for this. You can see the resistor getting hot there. That's pretty cool. So that'll tell me when the capacitor's fully discharged. So I can visibly see that there. You know, it's very, very obvious. So here's the resistor. That'll cool down in a minute. So that's one useful thing you can do with a thermal cam. You can see when the resistor cools down. Cool, that's discharged. Yeah, the heat's disappearing from there now, so I think it was just heat from the hot air from putting the optocouplers back on, maybe. It was just holding heat. The only thing getting warm is the DAP IC, so I do suspect it could possibly be that what's causing the issue. Obviously, power's getting to the DAP IC, and that's a power management chip, basically, for the 12 volt output. So yeah, it could very well be the DAP IC which has failed. Obviously, we still have some heat there, but it's not as prominent and it's fairly spread out. And I think that's most likely caused by the hot air. I think over time that will cool down. It's only been, 5 minutes or so, so it's not really been that long. Just plugging that in again. I unplugged it because I needed to move that cable. Didn't want to chance anything. Let's just check. No, still not getting power to there. So still not getting any 12 volt output at all. Let's just see if I can find any 12 volt supply at all. I'm getting a little bit, but that could be residual. What about on this resistor here? 300 volts. We do get 11.8 volts on one side of this transistor here. So that's on Q4. Oh, I nearly made a fatal mistake. So there's a screw there from the power supply, and there's also one there, and this is plugged in. We do not want to be shorting out 240 volts, ladies and gents. That would not be a pretty sight. That would blow everything in this workshop, and you wouldn't even get to see it. Why? It would probably blow my breakers. Right, I'm trying to... Right, that's negative on this side. I'm not getting any 12 volts here, like nothing coming into this chip here. Let's just pop under the microscope. I've got to be very careful because when I'm under the microscope and I've got this plugged in, I need to be extra careful at where my hands actually are, because, well, one slip and I'm dead. Literally. Alright, so I suspect it could be the DAP IC. I'm getting 12 volts on one pin. I'm pretty sure I'm meant to get it on more than one pin, so yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't have a pin out for these, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to just change it, I think. So I'm just going to desolder this. Okay, that's off. So it's just there. Okay, I'm going to grab a replacement, but before I do that, let's just tin these pads. There we are. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to grab a replacement DAP IC. So I've got some brand new alternative ICs here. I'll sell these on my online store. I'll just pop that on there. I just need to make sure I get this oriented correctly. There we are. And then I can just hot air it back on. Shouldn't take long because we're using leaded solder. Okay, so I've just hot aired it back on, and I'll run over it with the iron just to make sure we get good contacts. There we are. Just want to clean up, a bit of isopropyl alcohol. Say a bit and then I spill a load. There we go. So that's been replaced. Let's just dry off the remaining IPA just in case we get any random sparks. Don't want to end up having a fire in here. Being careful. There we go. Just check this. We have 12 volts, ladies and gents. It was indeed the DAP IC. There we go. This should work now when I put these back together. Okay, so again, be careful, please. Look where I'm holding it. From plastic, right? Holding it from plastic and making sure that I cannot give myself a shock. All right, there we go. So what I'm going to do, put a warranty sticker on that. because then I know that this is a repaired power supply. And I know that it's a repaired power supply because when I put a warranty sticker on these when I sell them, I'll put it across the edge. Right? So I know that this is a repaired power supply. Just clean out this heatsink. There we are. So this console is pretty much ready to go back together, but there is a plot twist. I'll explain it in a minute. I will explain my plot twist in a moment. Just as soon as I test this, but there is another plot twist, and that is that I forgot to put this back on. And then I put it on backwards. Of course I do. That was rather silly, wasn't it? Alright, now we're ready to test it. There we go. Let's not worry about the liquid metal for now. I can sort that out later on. Okay. Moment of truth. Does your work? Yeah, buddy. That is a working power supply, but there's a plot twist. I am not a power supply technician. I won't be selling this power supply back to the customer, or I won't be repairing it for the customer. I'll just provide them with a new one, because I'm not a power supply technician, I'm not an engineer, I'm not qualified, and I'm not an electrician. Okay, I cannot guarantee 100% that this power supply is going to be safe. So I will just replace the power supply for the customer. And obviously, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, power supplies, yes, they can be repaired, but they are dangerous. And the power supply is going to be the number one factor for fires on this device. So, for example, if a fire was to break out and I've repaired that power supply, technically I'm liable, right? If someone dies, I go to prison. And not only that, I'll have to live with it for the rest of my life. It's not worth it. I would rather just replace it. So I'm not going to give the customer this power supply back. I'm just going to give them the replacement power supply, which is going to be a brand new one. And yeah, happy days. The only reason that I worked on this, and by the way, that's not the same power supply. That's a power supply for a standard 1000 series. I was just using it to check the orientation on the chip. So before someone says I've swapped the power supply over, I haven't. I promise it is the same power supply. As you'll see, there's no optocouplers on that one for a start. But yeah, that's just a donor board. I was just using it to check the orientation. So no, I haven't done a switcheroo. But yeah, there we go. It was just a DAP IC, and obviously replacing that, it's working. So, happy days. I am really, really happy. I do sell these on my online store. I also sell the optocouplers as well. These things just hither. And yeah, you can get those on consolefix.shop if you need them, if you do want to repair your own power supply. It's up to you. You know, this isn't a how-to guide. This is just entertainment only. And yeah, happy days. I am going to shut this down because it's going to overheat. Otherwise, I don't have a heatsink on it. And I need to do the liquid metal on it as well. Yeah, don't copy anything you see in this video because I'm not a power supply technician, I'm not a power supply expert, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, alright? So, yeah, the good news is this console is working. It just needs to have a replacement power supply, and then the customer can get it back working. For reference, I will be charging £120 for the So no, the prices have gone down on the power supplies. I'll be charging £100 because I've gone down by £20. So that will be £60 for the power supply, £40 for the diagnostic and replacement fee. That also includes servicing the console at the same time and realigning the liquid metal to get that sorted, make sure you don't overheat and stuff. I don't charge much, I just charge a bench fee and the cost of the part in terms of the power supply. Obviously me messing around with the power supply for the past 45 minutes or so, that's on me. I did that for entertainment purposes only, just for you guys. There you go. I risked my life for y'all. What do I get in return? A thanks? A thumbs up? A subscription? Question mark? Or you can buy something from my online store. Anyway, no, with that being said, if you do need to organise a repair, get in touch at www.thecoder.repair. And if you do want to buy parts and supplies, you can get them from my online store, including the power supplies and the chips to repair them as well. So with that being said, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.